Welcome to everyone in the building today, to your favorite married couple in the galaxy.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm Damien,
Hey, y'all. I'm Jamie.
and welcome to another episode of Marriage is Real
Marriage is Monday.
on a Tuesday.
And Marriage Monday on Tuesday.
What's that song that's going up on a Tuesday? Is that what it's called?
Oh, I don't know. You just ask your children.
So, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode. We hope everybody's had a great week. We hope everyone is well. There's been a lot of news and things that have been going on in the world of America. So many things, so many situations that we should really be grateful for. One thing I will say is don't take life for granted, and continue to tell your loved ones you love them, kiss them, take that time and just engage with people. It was a
Right.
sad situation happened in the city. Some of the people that I'm connected with on Facebook, some high school buddies of mine, lost a dear friend of theirs over some nonsense, and we gotta,
Right.
as a people, we gotta do better with controlling our
Tempers.
emotions, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, not being irrational.
Not being irrational, people losing their lives and everything like that. So therapy is real.
Mhm.
But another buddy of mine, Tim Jackson, he's actually doing something at the DeSoto Civic Center this weekend. I'll share the link, or I'll post it on my personal page. If anybody was affected by the tragedy that took place in Lancaster this weekend, they're going to have some counselors on a site to talk to people that are dealing with the all of the emotions and everything that you might go through with some type of traumatic situation like that. So shout out to Tim. He does, I think it's called Real Mentor Sports, I believe. But I've been watching him for a while, and he's making a really great impact on the community and really trying to not just talk, he's taking action. So just wanted to share that.
And that was devastating, especially for those babies that were there that literally saw it happen. That's trauma that you carry with you your whole life into your adulthood. So absolutely, y'all. Everybody stay prayed up. We're gonna be praying, and we standing in the gap. We touch and agree in the spirit, over the airwaves, all of this stuff. So our thoughts and prayers and hearts are definitely with the families.
Definitely with all the families that are involved. And just one last thing, y'all. These kids are just playing football. They're not signed to any major contracts or anything like that. Right. We're just out there we should be out there just trying to help them to have a good time and learn. And we have to be an example of what sportsmanship looks like,
right,
because they're watching everything we do and everything we say.
Absolutely.
So if we out there clowning, then that's kind of what's going to continue to happen, because they're like little sponges.
Right.
So let's make sure that we're doing our part to help set an example for our next generations, because without that, what do they have?
Right. So that being said, why can't I see my stuff on Facebook?
I don't know.
Did you tag me? Because I can't see you didn't.
I did. It didn't. There it is. Let's just do that.
So y'all, excuse us. We have some technical issues. I'm really looking to see, I don't want to miss
I actually
comment.
did do it, but I don't know what happened, but it should be coming up in just a second.
Okay, well, I'm waiting.
I went in and I know I did what I did.
So y'all, tonight, here it is. I see it now. So introducing the topic that we will be talking about today is, I don't know exactly how you put it on there because my husband typed it in for us. The truth hurts, but it can also set you free. So that's what we talking about tonight, y'all. Basically having hard conversations and being vulnerable to never mind.
Conceptualize.
That's like if I'm trying to be funny. Oh shoot, my charger. Okay, go ahead, baby, because I'm trying. Let me see.
So we want to talk about something that is very seemingly would be a common sense type of conversation, but you would be surprised at how many people are in relationships and situationships and marriages that the truth is not a common occurrence when it comes to their union or the situation that they're in with their significant other.
Right. Excuse me, y'all. I got to get my charge.
And so we were having a conversation earlier today, and we're always talking about relationship stuff pretty much every day. And so we work on some situations that happened in the past with the couple where the the husband, I don't know if he came clean or if he was caught or whatever, but
I don't know.
the wife found out that he'd been unfaithful to her.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a shock to her, but after we heard the series of events and everything that it took place, both of us were like, yeah, I could see that.
Right.
And so the person that was the most shocked and the most taken aback, if you will, was the woman that he was in the relationship with, which was his wife.
Right.
She couldn't believe that he had been unfaithful to her.
Right.
And so that's kind of where the conversation began.
And of course, with unfaithful, we mean cheating, like getting it in with someone else who was not your spouse. For those, because I know people have different definitions of what's unfaithful. What was it?
Right.
What does that mean?
She was
getting it in.
Was it emotional? Was he cheating with his heart? Was he cheating with his eyes? Now we talking about the old school version of what cheating really is. And I think y'all know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that.
Knocking it down.
Because I've always said, like, oh, so was he what do they call it now? It was he cheating emotional cheating? Oh, okay, yeah. Was he emotionally cheating? I'm like, that ain't cheating.
But see, everybody has their own interpretation of what
I'm just
cheating
saying
is.
my definition, like.
So, but for a woman, if you are emotionally connected to a man, sometimes that can be kind of comparable to a man physically, sexually being involved with another woman.
Yeah. So you make that rule up for your house. Right. That's all I'm saying.
What's your deal breakers? What boundaries do you guys set? What has been put in place for your relationship?
Right.
But so
anyway, so to go on with the story, so he comes clean, like, yo, I just want to let you know I've been, I got a lady friend.
And let me just say this, not to interrupt you, but we have heard this more than one time. This ain't just this, one couple, just one we have heard this several times from different couples and different, wives and husbands and things like that. So we're just saying this to say this is an example that we're giving, but it's pretty much the same across the board in all of the examples that we've heard. So you can continue on with your story.
Thank you. And so anyway, he comes clean, and he's like, yo, I've been creeping on you, and I just want to let you know I've been creeping on you. And so she's very surprised. But one of the things that when I heard about the story, because I heard the story from another guy, I was just like, I can't believe that she didn't think that was a possibility. And so one of the things that I told Jamie was, I think that when someone is married to someone that's considered a good guy, a perceived good guy, or he's he may be a community leader, or he might be in leadership at your local church or mosque or temple.
No, not the mosque.
Yeah, the mosque or the temple. You know what I'm saying? He's considered like, oh, you see, oh, he's a nice guy, or he's a good guy.
Right.
One thing I've said is that sometimes those guys seemingly could be taken for granted. And it's like, oh, he wouldn't do that because he's a good guy. But the thing you have to realize is that you're a good guy. See, good is an adjective.
Mm-hmm.
The noun is guy. He's
The
a guy.
person.
He's a guy. He's a
Right.
person. He got a 2 and a 1. And you know what I mean by that. So he's a guy first. So I think you have to keep that in mind. And I think to a degree, playing devil's advocate from the outside looking in, I
Mhm.
think sometimes a good guy, a perceived good guy,
Mhm.
could be taken for granted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you think about
I
that?
mean, I absolutely agree, but I have to say that because again, that's why we tag team as men and women. I think
My
men
head
do.
look real big compared to yours.
We, I got my hair in a
Golly.
ponytail, so
Her head
I have
about
a
this
small
big. Look
head.
this. She got a little
Don't
baby head.
stop! Don't do that. I have a small head, y'all. So anyway, like I was saying, I think it's the same for men too. Like men take their wives for granted, and it's that thing where you want to believe that not my wife,
Mm-hmm. I
not
got a
not
story about that too.
not
Go
my
ahead.
one. Oh, she ain't gonna do that. What you say? You want her to be pure as the driven snow,
Pure as a driven snow.
and she may be to you, because there's
Oh.
a lot of things that women take to their graves. So while we talking about like um a woman saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe he would do that. I thought he was such a good guy." Men feel the same way about their wives too. I thought that you was a good woman. Again, as a woman, she's a woman first, and depending on the situation, there's a cause and effect, not justifying it, not rationalizing, not saying that it's okay, just saying that it can happen. And like I used to tell Damon all the time, and I still say this, I don't, and he would feel some type of way. He would like, "Do you trust me?" And I would say, for us, because we're Christians, I trust the God in you. Because I flesh is weak. I'm flesh too. We both flesh. So it's like I can't say, it's just like me saying what my kids won't do. I can't say what my kids won't do. I can hope and pray and wish and ask the Lord, please don't. But their choice at the end of the day is their choice, and that's the decision that they made. So don't think that you would do that. But I'm not gonna say that I would put that past you, that he would never, he would never ever. Because you don't know. You don't know what we don't know. We don't know the circumstances of what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
We could have gotten separated. We could be beefing. We could be having. You just don't know.
But I think the thing we have to do to kind of circumvent or negate that is to make sure that you're doing your part in the relationship, not taking away the blame from the person that may have done whatever they did,
Right.
but you taking inventory to say, okay, like you gave a really good example earlier when we were talking about this,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to remember what it was. You was talking about the woman parts, but you said it was something you said that had me cracking up, or basically like a starving lion or something like that. Remember you said that?
I didn't say nothing about no starving lion.
You didn't?
No.
Well, anyway, so I'm gonna just put it in my own words. So basically, she was just talking about how someone could be hungry,
Oh,
and
I
that
said a person, a starving a person,
not a
not an
lion.
animal.
Oh,
Just
okay.
a
I'm
tell
always
your story.
I'm always thinking in those terms.
Tell your story.
But yeah, so anyway, a person that's starving,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you have when you have more energy, because she always talk about she can tell if I'm hungry or not by the way that I'm dealing through the day.
Yeah.
And she'll be
He
like,
gets hangry.
yeah, so
He gets
that's what she
hangry.
said. But like when you are full,
Mm-hmm.
when you full of that woman juice, when you full of that woman, your ability to say no is it's a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
You have a better chance because you are
Mm-hmm.
full
Yeah.
or empty, I should say.
Yeah.
But when you don't or when you aren't,
Mm-hmm.
it makes, you said earlier, and you a lady, you a
Uh-huh.
lady.
Yeah.
It makes it harder.
Right. I mean, I can't speak for men, but I'm saying fundamentally, I would think that it would make it harder for you to not do the thing that you're instinctually, innately designed to do and to want. And if you ain't doing or getting or having it, is you gonna want it some more. It's almost like a diet. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to eat sugar. I'm trying not to eat bread. I'm trying to woo woo. And it's even been said that sometimes when you're trying to diet, I don't like that word, but for me, just trying to change your eating habits and change your lifestyle, sometimes you just gotta eat the cookie. And I don't mean I don't mean that
That's
facetiously.
my biggest smile ever on the
I don't
podcast.
mean that. I don't mean that facetiously. I mean like a literal chocolate chip cookie, like or a piece of chocolate, a piece of candy. Sometimes you just need to just get you a small
Get you
taste
some.
of it so that you can get it out your
You speaking my
system,
language.
so that you can stop craving it. Ooh, craving it and desiring it because you feel like you're depriving yourself of something because you know how good it is. It's one thing when you don't even know how it
It's
tastes, but
one
when
thing
you
if you don't know,
know.
but when you know, you know.
So anyway, we said all that to say, so we were talking about having conversations with your spouse where you have to sometimes say the thing that is uncomfortable to say. It's going to be uncomfortable for them to hear it, but you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable when you're married, because if you know that you're starting to, as a man,
Feel yourself drifting.
see more booties, I'm starting to recognize more.
What's more booties? More than one?
I don't know. No, I'm saying like you're starting to notice them more. Like you know your
You
man.
got
You
a
see,
full booty minimum.
oh yeah, she got so yeah,
Mouse.
she got a little nice little whatever. But when you like starting to find yourself fixating on the booty, like watching her walk and all the things. I don't know what men do. I ain't no man, but we know ourselves. So we know how when everybody came for Aisha Curry and she was saying she feels some type of way because she don't be getting the compliments like she used to get, and they were saying you a married woman, you been miss me with all that. As a woman, as you get older and things start changing and you used to the delivery men and the construction workers, making little comments and looking and all that, and recently you realize ain't nobody checking for you, it can make you feel some type of way. It does something to your self-esteem, just as a woman. If that's what if that's what I have is my feminine wiles, or because sometimes just being a woman, a man gonna just whatever, you could have on sweats and a t-shirt and somebody will still say something, but then you don't went out for the last 4 months and ain't nobody even blinked an eye. Like, dang, what's happening? What's going on? So it's the same thing with so you start to feel yourself desiring that more or craving that more. And sometimes your husband may not be complimenting you or saying what you need him to say or making you feel desired in that way. So you go out and the man say, oh my God, you look really nice. Did you do this? Your nails or whatever, you whatever. And it's like, oh, so you start to notice, like, why was I so intrigued by his compliment? So it's the same thing for a man. Why am I so mesmerized by her booty? I see her booty. That's Stephanie. I've been working with her for 2 years. But on today, I can't keep my eyes off Stephanie booty at the coffee maker, at the coffee machine. So that something is going on. So that's a conversation that you may have to have with your spouse to say, hey, something is going on in me, and I'm not, and don't be trying to blame your spouse for what you're doing or what you want to do. But I'm saying if you know that you are feeling some type of
Cool.
deprivation in the relationship, like I'm being deprived of, sex or touch, or you don't kiss me, we don't hug, you don't compliment me or whatever, and that thing is the reason why you're starting to crave and desire this other attention from outside sources. That's a conversation you have to have with your spouse. It ain't gonna be easy to say. And I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna go real 100. Back a while ago, I don't remember how long this was. I don't think I've ever told the story, but I'm gonna tell on him, and you tell me if you remember this.
I don't remember.
You don't even know what the story is. So we were younger, and we was having um some sexual issues, like in the bedroom, as far as like number of times, because we ain't never been on the same wavelength when it comes to that, because if he want to do it 30 times, I'm probably like 10, so we've always kind of been like, we ain't never just been here ever. So that was an issue that we were having.
What's
So
up, BS3?
hey Ben, hey. So that's an issue that we were having. So um he would like try to drop little hints and say little stuff, but that wasn't, I didn't know what that meant. I mean, to me, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Okay. But you weren't just saying to me what it is that you needed to say to me. So he basically told me one day, he said, I was in a situation where I almost folded. So he went out with the
Oh yeah,
boys,
yeah.
went out with the boys, and some things happened. And again, of course, we're young, so we still kicking it. So they went out with
We
the
was at the
boys. It was
club.
some chick, you know what I'm saying? So him and his homies, they took some chick somewhere. And I have to choose to believe that this story is true. And that the boys did what they did, but you did not. But I've also had the boys to say, yeah, he didn't. But of course, your boy's gonna lie for you if you got the right boys. But anyway, so
What's up, dog?
hey, so he told me, he said, I was in a situation where I almost folded. Like I was so close
And just
to
for the record, let me just say real quick, she came on to me. I ain't come at her. Go ahead.
it don't matter. That has nothing to do with
I'm just saying I ain't out here chasing tail. You
I'm
know
not,
what I'm saying?
nobody said that.
That's all
Nobody
I'm
said
saying.
that.
You know.
Regardless of the case, the tail was open and free. It was free for it was a free for all for whomever came by that day, and he could have been one of the ones. If you had a penis, come on in and join us. That's kind of how it was with this particular young lady. And he's telling me the story. He's like, I almost folded. And I need to let you know that I'm feeling, sexually deprived to where it's getting to a point to where I'm starting to desire other women. I'm starting to maybe to think about having sex with other women. It's like that ain't something that you want to hear. So immediately, what I do, ladies,
I was gonna say, how was
I
your
got
reaction?
pissed. What I say? Well, go
You
on,
should
do
have
it
Go on,
then.
do
That's
it.
exactly. And inside of me, I was like, oh my God, I know. Now, at first, I didn't feel like this. I was really upset. But once,
You calm down.
you have to think about like, dang, I don't want him desiring nobody else like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that. And if it's something I'm really doing and I'm really causing this because you trying to tell me, but I'm not getting it. And see, that's why we had this conversation. Like, you can't try to drop no hints. Say what it is.
And I'm gonna tell
because
you, and let me say this. I don't mean to cut you
Go
off,
ahead.
but I know that a lot of times when you really care about your wife,
Yeah, true.
you try to, our innate nature is to protect, and protection and provision is like at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes in our protection, it includes protecting your feelings. Like I know
Right.
if I say this, with her being the weaker vessel, it's
Mm-hmm.
like I don't really want to hurt her, because it's been said that you lie to the people that you love.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
true.
it's like I don't want to tell you like I was finna knock this chick off. You know what I'm saying?
That's basically what you said.
But I'm just like, yo, help a brother out. Help me help you. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead. I just had to throw that in there.
But I understand that you want to protect the ones you love and you lie to the people you love. And to me, it's
and I ain't saying I condone. I'm just saying that's.
And I'm not saying that it's okay to lie to the people you love, because the truth, as we said, the truth is what sets the relationship free. The truth is what sets y'all free to move forward in whatever it is. So to me, I'm gonna be mad if you try to say, well, I was trying to tell you, but you never told me. So you never even gave me the opportunity to say, okay, well, what's going on?
Right. And that's a very good point, because it's like we have to be we're not allowed to make that decision for the other person. And I think that's one of the things that we really miss. It's like, I don't think that you can handle this.
Right. Yes.
And that's not fair. That's not fair to do that.
And that ain't for you to assume.
You don't get to decide.
You don't get to tell me if I can handle whatever, and it may hurt. And this is the thing. It may hurt. But that's what I said to you earlier. I said, okay, if you ain't getting none before this conversation, and you think if I tell her this, I ain't gonna get none, what changed? Know what changed?
The truth came
out.
Has
come out.
Yeah.
So now, just maybe we can rectify some things, versus you sitting over there in misery and using that for an excuse to do what you want to do, because she ain't give me none, so I'm out here doing what I do.
And
but she don't even know that you feel this way.
And this is the thing, though. I have heard and have seen this happen countless times.
Right.
More than I can count on both of my hands and on my toes.
Right.
Because really and truly, all somebody really need is a reason.
That's
a
all.
perceived reason.
That's it.
You know what I'm
That's for
saying?
anything.
Yeah.
But we're in this particular instance. We're talking about. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about me. 'Cause I don't want to put nobody on, on Front Street. But for us, the reason could have been for you. Well, you ain't giving me none. And
Right.
really, it wasn't even that you wasn't getting none. It wasn't. It was that you weren't getting it according to how you thought you should be getting the amount that you thought you should be getting. Because if you say, oh, well, I'm saying, okay, we doing it 5 times. You say, oh, well, I wanted 7. So it's like, okay, wait a minute. So basically, you just making up rules as you go, so you can do what you want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So to that point, also, I could say 7, and she could say 1. So neither one of us is really in a point to where we can just say this is what it's going to be. That's why you have to be able to try to come to a compromise.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it can't be just it's all me. And that's one of the things that irks me about so much of a lot of the relationship content that's out right now is it's just like it's all about what you want.
Right.
And you're not thinking about the whole of the relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
This narrative that has come out for men nowadays, it's like y'all want to be treated like women. And I'm just like, I just don't get it, man. I don't understand. Like, why do you want to be treated like the woman is treated?
Right.
You know, maybe it's old school. Maybe I'm school now. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't want to be treated like a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that there should be a difference in the way that a woman is treated, because I really feel like that's the way God set it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because our responsibility is to love her as Christ loved the church. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He ain't tell her that.
Right. He said respect and
you know
honor.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's just like I don't want you to treat me how I treat you. Because I'm not going to respond to that the same way.
And like, give an example. What do you mean? As far as what?
I mean, I don't want
the people.
So basically what I'm saying is like, if you're considered to be the weaker vessel, I don't want you to treat me as though I'm a weaker vessel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And y'all don't get twisted over weaker. It's not literal like that. It's just,
like I bench press more weight than her. It's not like that. But I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to think of a better example that I could give. Say something, I'll come back.
I'm trying to think of something that men do. Like, do you want your woman?
Like here's just a regular, just kind of a run of the mill example. I don't want you opening my door for me.
I was just gonna say that.
Like, we go to the car.
Chair,
you know what I'm saying? We go, here you go, babe. No, don't open my car door for me. Like I'm driving, because she ain't driving nowhere. So I'm walking. Usually I'll walk over to her door and I'll open her door and let her in. I'm walking, but instead she walk over to my door talking about, here you go, babe. No, that's the same. I don't want you opening my door. Why? I can open my own door. That's just like, you might as well propose to me.
Well, some people, hey,
you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm in that type of situation, we're more traditional.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah. So I used to cut my story off. I'm telling my story. It was story time. So also, after having this the conversation that we were having about him saying he almost folded whatever, the chick or whatever. So we riding in the car. I never forget, we was living in Irving. We riding down, I think it was Beltline or O'Connor, I think it was. I'm livid. I'm hot.
I thought I came home when I told you.
You did? No.
I did when I got home.
But we went somewhere when you told me this story.
I told you when I got home that morning. I remember that.
Right, but I'm saying that
Oh, later on.
Later on that day, we went somewhere and you started to give me more of the, the background and, the kind of, because I wasn't trying to hear it. So we in the car, we driving. I remember we stopped at 7-Eleven to get some gas. This is how, when you hear something so traumatic in your world, you can remember all the specific details of what was going on. I don't remember this at all. So we stopped at 7-Eleven. You go in to get some gas. I'm cussing. I am this mother. He got me. So you're just gonna tell me, like, I am really just losing. But in the midst of all that, I'm thinking, like, dang, I need to do better. Because and what it did is it awakened me to the fact that I wasn't trying anymore. It was just kind of like, we married. This is what it is. You get it when you get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how it goes. You know what I'm saying?
And don't be making it seem like you're doing him no favors either. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Go ahead. I'm
That's
sorry.
very well. I'm just saying that's very true because women we can do that. We can, and sometimes you said it's okay though to do a favor. To if you
Yeah, you can do it, but don't make it seem like it. You know what I'm saying?
like, dang, come on, like
Yeah.
that's not good.
I mean, I still might, but I'm just
You
saying.
ain't no
But don't
might.
make it. But
It ain't
don't make
no.
it seem like that, though. You know.
It is not no
Let me
might.
let me conquer. Let me conquer.
So anyway, so after that, I started. It helped me. It helped to give me some self reflection. So it drew out a conversation that we needed to have, and what I was doing. Okay, so why am I more nonchalant about it? Why am I just kind of like, when we do it because the reality of it is, and statistics show that married women get tired or bored, if you will, of a monogamous relationship faster than a married man because theirs is more, of a genetic thing. It's more of a
Y'all get tired faster.
tired of a monogamous,
Yeah.
you know, same thing type of thing, but because of the anatomy of the way a man is made, and that's what y'all like, it's kind of like the physiology of like sex is sex. You know what I'm saying? And for women, it's sex. Like it's not always the
But let me just add to that too, because I don't want to make that just a blanket statement. Like, we want spice and variety too.
right. And I know you do.
Yeah.
But if y'all want spice and variety 2 times, women probably want it 8. So
Hey,
the
but you say that,
Mhm.
but is you gonna be able to deal with 8?
No. I'm not talking about the amount of times. I'm talking about the level of which it matters to you. Because spice and variety don't necessarily matter to the man like it does to a woman as far as the passion and you wanting it to be this new euphoric, passionate feeling. A dude is just like, hey, he got it. I got my rocks off. You know what I'm saying? Like a quickie. Women, a lot of times, chicks ain't getting nothing out of that. Women ain't getting nothing out of that. It's just like,
Oh, okay.
she might feel like, let me go ahead and do this for him. And, sometimes
Yeah,
it's
but
just,
you still don't want no starfish either. Like again, like you doing them a favor.
no, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that women will get
Bored quicker.
yes, because it will become more of
But are
like
you bored because it's the same person? Is that what makes it boring?
it's because I think this is my opinion. It's because we're emotion. We're emotion first. And when something is fresh and new and exciting, the emotion sometimes can blind you from even if the sex is good. And not the emotion of how you may be feeling about that person. It may just be the emotion of like this is a new thing, it's fun, we doing something we ain't supposed to do. Like that's why people like to do things, do it in places where you're not supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, or doing it outside or doing it somewhere where it's like it's taboo. You know what I'm saying? It calls out a sense of what is it? What's the word?
Freshness, thrill.
Thrill. That's it. It's thrilling. So as far as sex and marriage, after some time, it
Can
ain't.
it still be thrilling?
It can. You can have thrilling moments, but it ain't gonna just always be the thrill just because it's
So are you saying that like what that BB King song say, the thrill is gone? Is it gonna be gone?
not all the time. What I'm saying is it's not the same for men and women.
I'm saying from a woman's perspective.
It's not gonna be gone forever, but it's not gonna be there every time. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know that, but what I'm saying is I know it's not going to be every time, but what I'm saying is it one of those things like a pilot light? It's blue. Once you've been together for a long time, the pilot, the thrill light goes out, and it just is out for good.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's not like that. It's just that it's not going to be uh spicy and exciting and oh, it's so good every time after you've been together, because usually when you've been when it's fresh and new, it could be that way every time, just every time,
Because of y'all's emotions.
just because it's new, just because it's new, my bad, just because it's new, it's past you trying new things, you exploring each other, it's all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
After some time has passed, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, okay.
So that stuff
It's
that
sex.
was fun and passionate can just become normal.
Yes, Absolutely.
So
But
you
then,
have to find ways to make it fun and passionate again.
yeah. But then because of the way that we are, that thing that was fun and passionate, it might be boring. It might be boring this month, and then next month you do the same thing, and then it's fun again. Don't try to
That's
figure
so
it out. Don't try to
confusing.
figure it out because we don't know either.
That's confusing.
But what I'm saying is, you made me lose my whole
I'm
complete
sorry.
train of thought, asking me all these questions.
I'm trying to ask for people.
Dang, what was I saying? Anyway, the point of the moral of the story was him telling me that made me realize that I had to start to look at myself and ask the question, why? Why was I getting so nonchalant? Why was it kind of just like, oh, okay, well, when we do, we do. You know, not to say it didn't change. It wasn't no more, no less good or bad. It just was, it was something in me. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So did you, when that conversation happened, were you surprised about the conversation, or is it something that you may have known that if I had I not said anything, you would have known it, but not have addressed it yourself?
Was I surprised about what part? About you
About me
telling me you was
coming
gonna
you
knock
as,
down some chick, or
yeah, because what I'm saying is, did you already have an inkling like I ain't been on my game like I
Mm-mm,
should? Oh, you didn't at
mm-mm,
all.
mm-mm, no.
So that bad situation could have been used for better.
That's what the whole point of this
Okay.
podcast is. Hard conversations can set you free. Because had you not been that honest and real with me, and it wasn't ugly and it wasn't brutal and it wasn't cruel. He really was remorseful in telling me, but it's just the fact that my mom, I'm like, I can't believe you just sitting here telling me you almost, I just in my, I'm like, why would you? But it makes so much sense. And now, because of that, we always have hard conversations. You just have to say sometimes, when you did that, I don't necessarily like this. Or when you do this is not always the best. Or when you talk to me like this, or when you do whatever it is. And there's a way for you to say whatever you want to say. There's a way to say it. I ain't saying coming to somebody, because presentation is key. I ain't saying going to be like, let me tell you something. I need to holler because I need to tell you, you know what I'm saying? And the energy and the tone that you're giving or taking with this person, they don't shut down there and nothing you saying. But if you're actually going to this person and you having a for real mature conversation, let's sit down, let's set aside a time, let's carve out a time where we need to have this conversation. Like we talk about town hall meetings. Our town hall meetings ain't always bad, but a lot of times it's for us to talk about things that may have been that are going unaddressed because the timing just wasn't right to talk about it in that moment. So on and so forth.
And so I think one of the first things you have to do is when that happens is you have to accept it.
That's true. That's true.
That's where it starts.
That's
That's where
true.
healing begins.
Right.
You have to accept. We wouldn't even be here today had she not accepted it.
Right. And if you're not willing to accept their truth, then y'all got a whole other conversation to have. Because if I'm upset with you for sharing your truth with me, I gotta look within myself. And depending on what that is, now if somebody comes to you and says, you know what, my truth is, I don't want to be married to you no more. So I mean,
that's not funny. I'm sorry.
But it really does set you free, because now you with somebody who don't want to be with you.
Right.
Versus
I changed my mind. I would like a refund.
Right. Us sitting in this relationship and you thinking you just skip the loo, happy go lucky, and this person is miserable and don't even like you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, have a hard conversation. It's almost like I always equate it to jobs, because I know men can, attest to work. Sometimes your manager, your boss, whomever, your superior may have to say, hey, we need to have a conference. Let's have a meeting, because they want to discuss with you. Maybe your work ain't been up to snuff. Maybe you moving a little too slow. Maybe we gonna need you to get these reports out, X, Y, and Z. I don't like the way you talking to the subordinates. You gotta, soften it up, or you gotta be more, you gotta be tougher, whatever. But it's a conversation to be had, because they're giving you a chance to course correct, because I want you to be here. I want us to be able to work together. That's why I'm telling you this. I'm not telling you this just for my own, my own motivation, just for my own motive, so that I can get now some people do, they tell you stuff so that they can get you to do what they want you to do.
But if you married to the right person, hopefully that's not
And
happening.
and that's why, and you shouldn't, and you'll know that, by the conversation. That's why it's good to have a conversation and know that, y'all pray about it. Make sure this person is not trying to manipulate you. If you feel like you with somebody who's manipulative and that's all they're trying to do, then that's another conversation.
So after you accept it, you have to, and she's already alluded to this, but I'm just trying to give some points. Ask yourself if and what part you played.
Right. Absolutely. Empathy.
Yeah.
Look within yourself.
Because there's always something that you could be doing to be better for your partner. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to be transparent. Your boy, my face looks slim and trim, and I'm in all black. And black take off pounds, but I got some pounds on me that I'm trying to work through. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm trying to do right now, because I want my wife to continue to be attracted to my manly body, is I'm trying to get this weight off for me. You know what I'm saying?
I am too.
Girl, no,
don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm gonna do like a Hal on Malcolm in the Middle, be feeding you that milk at night.
Boy,
but yeah, you just have to. I have to ask myself what and how can I be what she needs or desires of me? Because marriage ain't just about needs; it's about desires too.
Right.
I want her to desire my long locks. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to think about that. All right now. You got to think about that. What part did I play?
Right. Absolutely. Dang, some of you just said that triggered something in my mind about, you said desire, something like that. Yeah, you definitely want to crave your spouse. We talk about crave a lot, but you definitely want to crave them. And that's another thing. That's another hard conversation when you say about weight. So for him, that's his own personal thing. Like, he wants to lose weight. He wants to, have a certain physique, for me. And that's great. And your spouse could be saying, baby, you look good. There's nothing wrong with,
But watch out for the trap, because you'd be doing that and be like, here go a cheesecake and some cookies and a pizza.
That's true.
And you'd be like, she loved me.
See, but see, that's I tell you about time black men do that, because when we be really trying to get in shape, and they be like, nah, baby, you don't need to lose no weight.
You good.
What? And then they bringing cheesecakes and ice cream. Look what I bought you. Take that back. No, actually bring it here. So, but like, your spouse gaining weight, that's a hard conversation to have. If you're starting to say, okay, well, maybe, baby, you know. Now, if it's a health issue and it's something that they can't help, different. That's a whole other thing. But if y'all,
if you can't just help, but to eat,
we just eating. You know what I'm saying? And you're having to say, okay, babe, when we do what we do, you're a little heavy. I can't breathe. You might sometimes, y'all. These are conversations that you have to have. That's hard. It's hard, and it puts you in a vulnerable place. It puts them in an uncomfortable place. But this is the question to ask yourself. What's the alternative?
Divorce.
We don't have a conversation, and it's just out there, just lingering. And we just sweeping it under the rug. The rug getting higher, higher, and higher. In a minute, somebody gonna trip. It's gonna be bad. So what's the alternative?
That's good.
If it's not good now, I mean, you having this conversation, it's still not gonna be good. So I'm just saying, like, what is the alternative? You just gonna stay like that, or you gonna, like I said, he was trying to do, drop hints. The hints don't mean nothing to. I didn't know what that meant. I don't know what you're trying to say, because a lot of times, like we talk about all the time, women be like, he should just know. He don't know. He don't know. She don't know. And especially because of the way that a man's mind works.
And woman.
We don't know. We don't get the keys and the clues and the key context clues all the time.
And let me add to this though. That was younger. Mm-hmm. I try to be more direct about stuff now, so that there's no question.
Yeah, we were absolutely. We was in our 20s.
The ambiguity about a conversation.
Yeah, we was in our 20s.
So
we was real young.
I just want to throw that in.
But then for men, I mean, for what I say, for women, the way that our minds work, our minds work real different from y'all's. So don't try to like drop hints and say, well, I said this to him.
And he
so
should
he
know.
should no, y'all, come on. Just talk, just say the words. Say the words. Like Bernie Mac say, used to say, I say what people just don't want to say. And it's hard. It really is hard. So like sometimes we would have conversations where I would literally probably be having a panic attack. I feel like my heart was racing because it was just so hard to say these words, but you have to do it for the good and the freedom and the liberty of the relationship. Y'all don't understand how these conversations have revolutionized our relationship. Because void of us having these hard conversations, we probably ain't together. It's just, and then you get divorced, people get separated. And the question I usually ask is like, so what did he say when you told him? Well, he should have just known it. Right. So did you just not even tell him?
You didn't even tell him. You didn't even tell
him.
He
didn't even know. Even tell her. And he or this woman, she's doing all of these things, and she doesn't even know that you feel this way. I mean, are you not telling them so that you, like you said earlier, can have an excuse as an out? Mm-hmm. So,
and then here's the thing though. When that person tells you, and I may have said that already. Oh, I already said accept it.
Yeah.
We were having some conversations this week with some people, and it's like they don't even want to accept the fact of what it is. Don't eat and said, I'm not accepting it.
I'm not changing.
I'm not doing nothing different. I'm gonna be and do who I am. That's just what it's gonna be.
Now, if you have a conversation with somebody and they say that, that's a different conversation. But that's the point. Having the conversation thus lets you know, now we got to have a different conversation. Right. Because if you're telling me you're not changing, you ain't gonna do nothing different, you're not gonna try to accommodate me in the least.
You're not looking for, I'm going ahead, but
so this is what my life is finna look like, right? Because you already telling me you ain't finna do nothing different.
Right. That's so you can take it or leave it, basically.
So that's a different
this who I am, and I ain't changing.
Absolutely.
And so after you have asked yourself if and what part you play, you have to seek to understand the why.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why did this person? Why did my spouse? Why did my partner do this? Or why are we having this conversation?
Now, who you saying seek to ask the why? Who, the woman, the person bringing the grievance, or the person listening? The person, which one? What do you say? How are you saying this?
So I'm saying everybody needs to understand the why, because there could be a why I was doing it.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Why you were doing it and why she wasn't doing it, or vice versa.
Or and then just the why, like the trying to get to the bottom of the issue,
the core issue.
The core issue,
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the root of it all? Because there's usually a root, and this is the fruit of the root. And that's a good point. I'm glad you said that, because once we had that conversation, he told me he almost knocked the old girl down, whatever.
Why you keep saying that?
It was crazy to me, and I was just like, I can't believe, but it was so freeing. That's why I said.
Because you would? Never mind. Go ahead.
No, what?
No, go ahead.
What was you gonna say?
I mean, did you do you think it could have been like an ego thing? Like, I'm so cute that this wouldn't happen?
No, that ain't got nothing to do with no cuteness. But I will say this: it wasn't about cuteness. It was that I'm your wife. See, these are young days, y'all. Young. We was real young.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm thinking like, I'm your wife.
How long have we been married?
At that time,
about 5 years.
Not even 5. Jordan was a baby. Jordan was a little baby. We was living in Irving in the condo.
So about 2 or 3 years.
We probably was about 3, maybe right at 4.
3 or 4.
Right.
Okay, so about 20 years ago.
So I'm like, in my mind, I'm your wife. Like, I ain't your girlfriend, ain't your fiance. Like, I'm your wife, and you gonna come tell me that although you're married to me and I'm your wife, you was supposed to not this. You had to like use all of your will and strength and might not to do that, to stick your thing in somebody else. Like, and in my mind, I'm saying, because you know what it was? In my mind, I couldn't perceive me ever doing that to him at that time. So I'm like, well, if I would never do that to you, how could you ever think? And as time has progressed, it's like you felt that way then, but it's easy to have some different feelings later when y'all start having issues in your marriage and you start thinking like, are we gonna even still be married? You know what
And
I'm
so
saying?
those issues become more personal and
Absolutely.
affect you differently and could have you changing what you think about how you say what you would or wouldn't do.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So at
Yeah.
that time, the ego part was that I'm your wife, so you shouldn't have even been considering, it ain't had nothing to do with aesthetics or how I looked. It was just the fact that I thought that you should honor this marriage more than that. But
And be careful about what you say. Be
mhm.
careful because and again, we've seen this happen and it's happened with us. Like, I wouldn't do that, or I wouldn't say that, and you do or say what you said you wouldn't
Do
say
or
or
say
do.
later on.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
So keep that in mind.
Absolutely. But what I was gonna say is that you saying that to me, it caused me to look within myself to so that I started asking myself the question, why was I being so nonchalant? Why was I withholding? And I wasn't doing this, y'all, subconsciously. I wasn't like in my mind saying, oh, I ain't giving him none. That wasn't
There
it.
wasn't any spite or like I'm showing you or I'm with
This
using it
was
as a
right.
weapon or
This was
anything.
around the time that we were having some really major issues to the point where I was like, marriage ain't supposed to be like this. It ain't supposed to be this hard. Like, and the way that we were and the way that we told the story before when we went on a trip and we were talking to each other and we were looking at back. And so what it was is that there were some deep issues. There were some core issues there that we didn't even recognize. I didn't even recognize. So I was unsubconsciously not feeling close to him. Like, I didn't want to give myself to him. I wasn't thinking about I wasn't even thinking about that because I had my own personal issues with him of how he was doing and treating me and acting and all that kind of stuff. So that happening and you saying that to me, unbeknownst to you, helped me to see and look within myself. Now it almost went the other way because I started saying, you know what, I don't really like the way he is. I don't know if this is what marriage is supposed to be. Thus bore, marriage is real. So, but yeah, so that's basically how, kind of like how Marriage is Real was born, because we started having conversations about relationships and what it looks like. What do you think this is? Because you basing it on your mom and your daddy. I'm basing it on my mama because my mom and daddy weren't married. So I'm thinking that he know because he had a mom and daddy that was married. Now I know they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because if your models weren't necessarily the way the models that you want to pattern yourself after, because you're not married to your mama and you're not your daddy and I'm not married, you know what I'm saying? So like we're completely totally different people, so you can draw and pull from those relationships, but we can't try to mimic and do exactly what we saw. And because we were so young and I definitely didn't know. I just was trying to do all of these things thinking that I was right, and I now know that I was absolutely wrong. Absolutely. Because I'm thinking, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing all this stuff, but I wasn't giving it up. I was doing all this stuff, I wasn't giving it up because I really was unhappy with him and didn't even know. So,
And so
anyway.
after you seek to understand the why, it leads to resolution and healing.
Right.
And that's what happened.
Right.
Because you can't get to the healing if you don't accept it.
Right.
Ask yourself what part you played and seek to understand the why. You can't get to the healing.
Right.
And had we not taken these steps, which all started with a conversation, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't think we realize how something like that or something bad can work out for your good in the long run.
And when we had the conversation, he was actually coming to tell me this out of remorse because he felt bad about the fact that he almost caved. You know what I'm saying? I almost, what the words say, what the song say, I almost gave up.
I'm gonna tell you what it really was. It was a plea. I was like, yo, Hey man, it's rough out here. It's rough out here. Look, I'm just saying.
Well, don't say it to her like that.
No, I'm saying that now.
But yeah,
I'm just saying, like, it was a plea for, like, yo, you know.
But did you know that at the time that it was a plea, or do you?
No, I
knew.
I know it was a plea. I remember.
Okay. Well,
I went within.
Okay, and you decided to be vulnerable and just say, like,
yeah,
this is what it
was. I was just like, because the thing is, for me, I wanted to be a faithful husband. I didn't want to, because if I mean, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I could have had women.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if I could have had women outside of being married, why even get married?
Right.
So I wanted to be, and I wanted to pride myself in being faithful to my wife, because I could have just not been married and did all of
Whatever
that,
you wanted
and then
to
it
do.
wouldn't have even been an issue.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
so what was really happening within me was, I'm like, I'm not liking what is trying to come out of me,
Right.
what's trying to come forth. That's not really who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do the marriage God's way,
Mm-hmm.
which is being faithful and not stepping out on your wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yo, Ian is getting weak. You know, so let's
Ian.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not supposed to.
Getting weak out here in these streets.
So I'm just like, I gotta. And then too, that, which is a whole nother conversation, is sometimes you have to make sure that you don't put yourself in situations that make you weaker.
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you know you're malnourished.
Yeah.
Don't go to the meat factory.
Yeah. Because it's a lot. It's meat, especially in Dallas. It's a lot of meat factories.
And this new meat, just throwing the meat. This new meat, they just lay down for you. Come get me.
Yeah,
I'm meat.
And so that's one of the things that I learned through trial and error, is not to don't put yourself in situations that you have to get yourself out of. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The club is not like church. So don't put yourself in that situation if you know that that's a situation for you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like if you have getting women tendencies, mm-hmm. try not to put yourself in a situation where there's women's to be gotten.
Especially if you're married.
That's the point right there, is especially if you're married. Don't, right. You know, so that was the thing so it caused me to look at my why. You know what I'm saying? Why am I getting out here? Like, take your home. Right. Or and so I stayed home now. I don't go out. I'm at home. Like, where's Damien? He watching movies. Are you
saying you stay at home now because you think if you get out there you're gonna do something?
I know I will.
You do what? Officer, what you gonna do? Tell me all about it, because I'm gonna be asleep.
No, but I'm just that's not my scene anymore. I leave that to the youngins. You go on out there and do what it is. Y'all kick it or do whatever y'all trying to do. I'll be at home. I look forward to being at home, having a nice meal, and watching zombies and
blood, death, and guts.
Yeah, all that good stuff. It's safe.
It is really safe. Yeah, that's real talk in 2022. But that's our time, guys. Yeah. If anybody has any questions, definitely let us know. Next week we will probably I was gonna say, because I wanted you to tell the story. I wanted to talk about how women out here be on some game, and I just want to help the men help themselves. But we shall see.
Okay, I don't know what she's talking about, so I guess we'll figure it out.
You forgot about the story you told me.
Which one?
When you was going to get something to eat.
I was going to get something to eat.
Yeah, but you need to stop at the apartment.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that now. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, uh-huh.
We went down this road. You know what I'm saying? But thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Marriage is Real. Follow us on everything. Marriage is Real. YouTube, please. We got 155 now, I think. We're trying to get to 156, 170. We love y'all. Y'all have a great day.
Deuces and trays. Swap, vomit, drag, fright.